trusts that the team will keep you safe.
But now you start to see, yes? The people never happy. It never enough.
I cannot believe you, Ellen.
Are you saying that advance have cured death?
Jog off!
We're still vassals, slaves, we're dressed in prettier cages.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started. Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm
Starting soon, emoji grin.
I'm sweating like Peter Clement in an off-licence here.
Okay, we're working on it.
What, you've got someone to hose down the sun, have you?
Yes, they've just strapped on their wax wings.
Classical illusions are no substitute for air conditioning.
You know, I genuinely thought you'd be in a better mood today. She's not even here.
Yes, but he is. Our gun-toting handler.
Who, Andy?
I don't know what the fuck his name is, do I?
He's here to keep us safe from people like Disrupt.
More like keep us in line.
Dav-Kripler is now live.
Give me the willies.
Streaming not
10
for
seconds,
broadcast, not
So
for
very actual
broadcast
real
part
news tonight.
5.
Well, the world's on fire. That good enough for you? Going in 5, 4, 3...
That's what I'm talking about? Cat football? We should be doing an interview with the War Minister, or a report from Grenfell Downs. Even the weather will be more fucking relevant than this.
Jeremy, please, just breathe. It's just something light to keep people's minds off things.
Exactly, which is wrong. People's minds should be very much on things. Christ, it's so fucking hot!
Please take your seats as quickly as you can.
I can't do this anymore, Jenny. I've had enough. That's it. This is just...
10 seconds! Get over yourself, Jeremy. Why don't you stop feeling sorry for yourself for 5, 4, 3...
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, your host, Jeremy Donaldson. Later, we'll be talking to the captain of the territory's first... Enough! That's enough! Enough!
What are you doing?
Trying not to piss myself.
Alex, cut...
Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare cut to the ads before I tell you to. Now, you in the broadcast centre, Bozeman's little scapegoat, you listen to me. You cut to the ads before I tell you to, and I will kill every single person in this studio.
Jeremy, think about what
I am thinking about what I'm doing. I've been thinking about it for a long time. We all should be. Christ, it's so fucking hot in here. Do you remember when we used to do the real news? Before it was all lottery winners and bloody cat football? We are on the brinks of a siege the likes of which the world hasn't seen in hundreds of years. The enemy is at the gates and I'm stuck here talking to these 3 fucking idiots.
I think my hiccups have stopped.
You 3, get the fuck out of my studio. Go on, now, go, before I change my mind. Jenny, lock the doors. Lock the doors.
Yes, Jeremy.
Now, good, yes, now. Right then, you in the broadcast centre. Alex, you listen to me. You pay attention. Now, I'm sure you've already loaded up exactly what you're going to play in the commercial, but today is going to be a little bit different. Look to your right. Yes, really, look to your right. There is a VHS tape, and I want you to load it into one of the machines, and when I say so, and not before, you play it. You've got about 15 seconds, so I wouldn't waste any time. Now, all cameras, all of you, on me. When we come back, we're going to do the fucking news. And because every single thing that comes out of this studio is either one-sided or banal, we're going to show the other side for a bit. For a bit of fucking balance, like the good old days. Alex, play the fucking tape. Now, I don't want to hurt any of you. But if I see anything I don't like, I will not hesitate to start by killing this man. Now, reset the system for the third segment. I imagine the ratings are going to be through the roof. How long?
Jeremy, please.
How long?
17 seconds.
And the studio doors are all still locked?
Yes. So what now?
I don't know. This wasn't what I planned. I mean, some of it was. I had a speech, look. But this was unexpected.
So what now, Jeremy?
It was supposed to be your day off.
God, please, don't do any more stupid things today.
How long? How long, Jenny?
We're already live.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Joining me, unexpectedly, for what I very much imagine will be my last broadcast, are two new guests. Jenny works here at the National Nightly News and is someone I consider, well, a friend. And next to her is, what's your name?
Andy.
Andy's a policeman. Only we don't call him that anymore. He's a community cohesion official.
Officer.
Sorry?
It's community cohesion officer, CCO.
And how's that feel, Andy? Being rebranded?
It's good. it's not about confrontation anymore. You know, the force had its fair share of problems. The team doesn't have as many.
But it still has some.
I couldn't say.
Couldn't or wouldn't?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Christ, you're fucking useless, aren't you? We'll come back to you later. Jenny?
I don't want to be on the news, Jeremy.
That's perfectly understandable. Who'd want to do this? Jenny, why did you join the National Nightly News team?
I always wanted to work in news.
Yes, but why specifically this programme? The National Nightly News.
It was the news everyone trusted. Is. Do you really want to quibble semantics at gunpoint?
Is there something else you'd rather discuss?
Well, there is a great big Alan James-sized elephant in the room you seem to be ignoring.
What do you mean?
I saw your face when that hood came down. You didn't know, did you?
It's about the message, not the messenger.
Like I said, you didn't know.
No, I didn't know. The people I met were with, he wasn't there.
God,
I didn't know it was Alan James.
I'm sorry, but seriously, Alan fucking James. You're flushing your life down the toilet for... God, I love you, Jeremy, but...
He's a good speaker. He's popular in the country.
That right?
Look, forget Alan James. There is still something deeply wrong. And you know it, Jenny. And you know it, Andy. And you at home, you know it too. Meanwhile, I'm interviewing a guest who stinks of shit. Patrick is paddling about in shit. And Robin is literally interviewing someone who collects the fucking stuff. I mean, it's not sophisticated, but what a metaphor. We are sleepwalking our way into oppression, and the news isn't saying anything. We're not saying anything.
Says who? Alan fucking James.
What are all those scientists working on at Grantham Downs? What are they testing underground at Aldergrave? Andy, your turn. Make yourself fucking useful. How many people have you brought in for consultations just because they weren't carrying or didn't have team membership cards?
Oh, well, there's other forms of identification that we will accept.
For how long?
We're just here to help.
Then why do you need these? Not really help when it's offered at gunpoint, is it, Andy? Let me demonstrate it for you. Let me help you. You eat these cards with my notes on it, and you'll probably digest a fact. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, Andy? Knowing a fact?
What? I don't understand.
Do you want my help, Andy?
Yes, whatever you say, yes.
Security are here, Jeremy.
Eat it.
What?
Eat the fucking news, Andy, or I'll force it down your fucking throat.
Jeremy, stop.
Go on.
Really?
Eat it. Eat it, you fucking bully.
Jeremy, stop. They will kill you. Please, don't make me watch that.
Of course. You're right. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. You can put the card down now, Andy. You can go now. You too, Jenny. Fuck off over there. We're nearly done. All cameras on me. This new regime of ours is so seductive. I understand that. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask to whom we're handing them over? Don't you want to know what's being done in your name? How many people were transitioned last month? A record high. Again, if you care. Shouldn't someone ask Advance how they plan to deal with this blockade? How many years or months of supplies we have? Why aren't we asking these questions instead of whose shit is this? There's a cat backstage dressed as a fucking goalie, for Christ's sake. He's even got the little gloves. Anyway, that's why I arranged for you all to see that broadcast in the last break. I didn't know it was going to be him, but I guess that just about sums it up. We are all up Ship Creek with a paddle made of Alan fucking James. Christ, it's all so fucking pointless. I was going to quit tonight. Take a holiday. Try something else. Out of the limelight. Maybe try having a relationship. I hear they're nice. Never tried it. I loved the news. And now, well...
God, Jeremy, don't!
I've tried my best to be honest with you, but this just isn't the news anymore. And I'm
Cut to
sorry.
the ads.
All right, we're back up to speed. Things got pretty intense last time. We're going to pick up where that left off. My understanding is if I didn't switch to the ad when she asked me to, Jeremy might actually have legit died. Well, here we are on day 297. You wake up still partly in shock from what you saw on the news last night, what you had to edit on the news last night. When you come downstairs, you find your family sat in the living room waiting for you. You take a seat on the sofa between Sam and Susie. Sam swallows, hesitating before starting. We were so worried about you last night. After Jeremy, everything that happened, Sam shakes her head. I wonder what they'll do with him now. Are you okay? Now, I'm going to be honest. I can't shake the feeling you might be right. Sam looks to the kids, then back at you. We saw that you chose to play that tape. They paused before continuing, and I couldn't help but wonder why. I didn't feel like I had a choice, or it seemed like the right thing to do. going to say it seemed like the right thing to do. What? That's not good enough. Disrupt are bad people. I can't believe you did that. Charlie's outburst seems to come out of nowhere and no one in the room is prepared for it. Do you even think about how this stuff affects people? You're an effing idiot. Sam tries to interject Charlie, but he's already slammed the door. Charlie always was a bit black and white about this sort of thing. We did let Charlie join Disrupt. That's what we get. For what it's worth, Alex, I think you were in an impossible situation and somehow you managed to make the right call. Sam throws their arms around you. Only you were stuck in that studio having to make that choice. No one can criticize what you did, and I'm proud of you. You've never been so grateful to have Sam support you. You take a deep breath and gather your thoughts. It's a lot to take in. You're not sure you fully processed what happened last night, let alone what Charlie and Sam think about it all. You look to your daughter. What you got for me, Susie? I know this is an incredibly difficult thing and we don't always agree, but I do think you made the right choice. Susie smiles at you. You had to play it. There was just no other option. You put an arm around her and give her an affectionate squeeze. It's nice you've at least got some company. The TV is playing through some old Western show, but it's not quite as distracting as you'd hoped. You were never going to please everyone. Day 324, a questionable choice. You got off work early today, a rare enough occurrence to put a spring in your step. As you close the front door, you can hear excited conversation bubbling from the kitchen. Clearly someone's popped round for a cuppa on Sam's Friday off. Hopefully there are still some biscuits left. As you enter, you see Sam, Susie and Zach are laughing and discussing something. As soon as she sees you, your daughter turns and enthusiastically presents a hand which sports a prominent diamond ring. Look, Zach proposed, we're engaged. I'll just be supportive. Oh my god, that's amazing news, I'm so happy for you. The pair of them end up staying for dinner. They move pretty quickly, but when you know, you know. You're genuinely pleased for them, whatever happens. You'll always be there for her, either way. "361 a bird and bone." It's been 6 months since you and Sam last discussed Grandma's ever-increasing medical costs, and Emma, whilst very pleasant, has proved as expensive a nurse as you'd have feared. You can't quite believe it's been that long already, but the sanctions are really starting to hit home now, and unfortunately the government's only solution to help the ailing elderly is a day trip to a transition centre. Why does everything always seem to come back to money? This time it's you at the kitchen table, surrounded by bills and paperwork when Sam comes to join you. Today, Emma told you that there was really nothing more you could do, except an expensive experimental new treatment that might not even help. Sometimes your mum wants the treatment. More often, she talks about visiting a transition centre. It's hard to know which she really wants. Sam puts a hand on yours. What are we going to do, honey? She's your mother. It has to be your choice. I don't think she wants to live like this anymore. It's hard, but it's time for the transition centre. That's a tough call. I might as well just do what she wants, really. These things are never really a choice. Hopefully the kids will understand it was all you could do given the circumstances. If only things had been different. Happy New Year. Day 371. How are things at home? Amazing. Oh, brother. Well, I guess we're going back online. And let's see what's happening on the news. All I know is my boy Jeremy better still be alive. That's for damn sure. Okay, time to roll. Day 371, the 20-week war.
Good evening, Alex. A word of warning. You'll no doubt notice some disrupt activity on the interference console tonight. You could choose to broadcast these alternative frequencies by scrolling the mouse wheel down, or return to channel 1 by scrolling up. Of course, I trust you know better than to put disrupt on the air, Alex. We show the news, nothing else.
A cow's tongue and some rhubarb.
Advanced war broadcasts, oh lord.
Asked me to ask you to keep it light.
Well, what does that mean?
It means to do that thing you do where you turn politicians into humans. Just don't get drawn into talking about the war. Politics in general.
They do know this is the news, don't they?
You didn't hear this from me, but... Apparently, there's a crew at Team HQ right now. Each doing a speech or something tonight. They'll get on their legs.
Oh, great. So they get the brains and we get the performing monkey.
Sometimes you sound just like them, you know.
Wow, look at my new setup. I just realized.
It is what
It isn't it? 10 seconds, everybody.
What is this? Reactions?
4, 3. Good evening. This is the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 140th day of war. Our main headlines tonight. Company of heroes. Skirmishes on land and sea again today as our armed forces tested the mettle of the World Council's illegal blockade. Advance's strategy of multiple small-scale incursions into the disputed zone is certainly keeping the enemy on high alert, unable to work out where or when the next strike will come. Proud parents throughout the territory find themselves ever more impressed by the bravery and commitment of their incredible children and the job
Yeah, we're
they're
just a
doing
full-on
keeping
propaganda
supply
channel
lines
now.
open against all possible odds. Don't starve. Advance's food programme moved from strength to strength today as rationing depots were opened in the last remaining unfed areas of the territory. The rationing depots have been constructed in record time, and the government's agricultural coordination strategy has seen shelves restocked with increasing regularity. And judging by the looks on this happy family's faces, it can't come a moment too soon. They'll be getting a good meal tonight on the government, just like the rest of us. 7 days to die. The recent decision to allow those with long-term health conditions to access transition centres has today been declared an overwhelming success. Previously available only to those in their final years, the expansion of the service has been met with relief by the many organisations
That's where our mum is
calling
going,
for it
huh?
to be opened up to the wider community. The transition centres have reported larger than expected numbers, but report that they are coping well and able to provide a complete and meaningful service to all who choose to use it. Populace. More than 11% of the population have thus far failed to register for a team membership card, a worrying statistic given that the cards are a legal requirement from midnight tonight. While
Good
applications are still open for those who like to run fashionable
So they're
events,
mandatory
they can
now.
expect a few tricky questions from Advance. Start me up. Disrupt spokesman Alan James held an impromptu rally today in the northern city of Mankipool. Large crowds gathered to hear the band speaker prove Disrupt are still able to capture the public's imagination. A representative from the Mankipool Community Cohesion Team described the event as mostly peaceful, but it looks like Disrupt aren't going quietly into the night. And finally tonight, our mutual friend.
Jeremy?
Bail was denied in the High Court today for shamed former National Nightly News anchor Jeremy
Oh
Donaldson.
man.
The presenter will be transferred to new lodgings at Pension Ridge Prison, while the lengthy preparations for his trial, which is still 18 months away, begin. Since being taken into custody 10 weeks ago in this very studio, little has been heard from our former colleague. Despite how things ended, we wish him the best, and we'll be sure to bring you all the details of that court case every night. But first this evening, with the war about to enter its 21st punishing week and people hurting up and down the country, I'll be grilling unpredictable Prime Minister Peter Clement in an exclusive interview from his home in Lancashire. That's coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Oh, I'd love to hear the rushes of what they're talking about right now. Clement is looking rough, huh?
In part 2, I'm a little overexcited to announce I'll be interviewing the one and only Lil C. And later we've got a new feature that's sure to keep you coming back for more. But first tonight, let's check in with Prime Minister Peter Clement, who's speaking to us from his home in Lanfordshire. Good evening, Prime Minister. Have we caught you exercising?
Oh, have we started? Yes, that's right, Miss Wolf. Just a few minor adjustments. I mean, nothing drastic. I haven't joined a gym or anything. As my old mum used to say, just because she won't take it up the shit, it doesn't mean you shouldn't try for a quick fiddle up the car park.
Language, Prime Minister.
Got it, don't worry.
Quick fiddle? Oh, shit there. It's shitter, isn't it? Yep, that's the one.
And can you tell us what brought about this new you? Tell us what brought about this new you.
What's happening?
You know, the night the blockade began. When John
What's happening?
Well, you know, and it was blistering hot, as I'm sure you all remember. And I were a bit wheezy from all the cigars and all that. And Mrs. C turns to me after the signal dropped away, and she was in floods of tears. And she says, Peter, she's dead. I couldn't go on without you. She's dead. So I made a decision. And since that day, I have stopped smoking.
It's weird, I can't fix the interference.
Except for Christmas. Like birthdays. Weddings. State dinners. That's what I say. I can't use
Our signal's been hacked, huh?
And that should finish me off for bloody good.
There's something deeply wrong.
Finish me off for bloody good.
Did you make the decision to holiday within the country this winter because of the blockade, Prime Minister?
Well, Mrs. C has never liked travelling at the best of times. These are certainly not the best of times. On that we can all agree. And there's a lot of red tape involved in leaving the territory at the moment, as I'm sure you're all aware. Some of those fellows long.
All in it together.
What? Oh, yeah. Also, it doesn't seem very advanced to be going abroad when the rest of the country is grounded.
And yet, Julia Salisbury announced today that she'll be visiting Svenland during this year's winter break. Is that really an example of team spirit?
What? Did you know about this, Gail?
Oh no, we're being hacked again.
Jeremy Donaldson is to be put on trial.
What did you know?
Well, leaving that for a moment, it says on this card that a body like yours must take some planning to achieve. What's your morning routine?
Well, I have a frigid morning routine.
Rigid? Fuck's sake!
Oh, yeah. A rigid and demanding plan that my doctor and personal trainer...
Who's be the one to call?
Personal trainer...
Who's your personal
Record clerk. Is that on your card?
I thought you might wonder. Prime Minister, speaking of planning, with the blockade in its 20th week and the people of this country reeling from its effects, what plans do you have? Reeling from its effects, what plans do you have?
I keep missing the Alan James parts. Oh, there is
Like a
one.
mother watching her child.
Surely one for which you, the democratically elected Prime Minister,
Okay,
must
I'm going to
have
put
an
it on
answer. Prime Minister
so we can
must
hear
have
it.
an answer.
But it's going to put her on delay.
I was national treasure before you were a twinkle in the milkman's scrotum. You want to talk about plans? Let me tell you about plans. That's all we do. Plans and revised plans, and then meetings to discuss the implementation of plans and plans and yet more planning. Plans and yet more plans.
Well, that's good. That's good to know, Prime
Do you
Minister.
know, I used to really like you, Pat. You were a breath of fresh air. But I've been watching you, and you know what? You get more like him every day.
I will take that as a compliment. Prime Minister, later on this evening, your co-leader, Julia Salisbury, is going to give a national address from team headquarters. Can you give us a hint of what she's going to say?
Yes. Well, I imagine that there
Sorry,
will be
you
the
imagine?
usual... no, what I mean is...
You do know about this broadcast, don't you, Prime Minister?
Well, I'm sure I did. But Julia and I have no secrets from each other. We don't memorize each other's bloody diaries either. As my old mum used to say, if you wanted to get a job done quick, don't get bogged down in the pew. What else you got?
Sorry?
Only cards, what else? A little piece of my life do you want to rustle through? Get out, refill my last. Ta. Ah, come on. Come on.
Okay. What music do you listen to when you work out?
Well, Gail tells me that I work out to Little C, but I have absolutely no fucking idea who that is. Do you think the C stands for...
It stands for collaborative, Prime Minister.
Yep, actually, that does make more sense, actually.
How's rationing affecting you?
It's hard, but we get by. You just have to learn to get by on the basics. Take comfort in each other. I've got Mrs. C and many a fine single malt. I want for nothing. So for a decent night's sleep, of course.
Prime Minister, thank you for joining us. When we come back, it's time for the Culture Spot with Lil C and a world premiere performance of her new song. I genuinely can't wait to hear that. We'll be back after this.
1 minute back, everybody.
That is what happens when you wander from the car.
I don't think he knew about her statement.
I don't think anyone's supposed to know. When you mentioned it, Bozeman's face turned a colour that I think you call embolism.
Am I in trouble?
Bozeman? Nah, you're like the daughter he never had. I suppose the higher-ups might fire him, though.
Who's Lil C?
Or if there's any justice, me.
Who's Lil C?
Are you winding me up?
What? I'm civilised. I read books.
Oh, blimey, Jazza. The old Market Square's looking a bit Somerset Bentley. Empty today.
Oh no, Bazza. I never thought I'd 5 a day say this, but I don't
Spotted
dog in
the
a bike
outdated
like
mixing
shopping
desk.
anymore.
You'll need the new buttons during the next sections.
When there was all
First,
sorts
we'll
of
need
grand
applause when the guest enters, and before her song. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it when we get there.
Right. The boil.
I just wish I could put some unlicensed
Fine.
fun.
We get a soundboard, huh?
Consumers. Don't worry, you poor dirty cockneys. Here's a little something to lift your barely literate spirits. This is a Sophia Remington swag box, and you never know what's in it until you break the seal and open it. Here. Who knows what you'll get? A piece of exotic fish, a rare weapon modifier, or even a handy set of 6 flords. And if you're not happy and you haven't broken the seal, you can even get a full no-quibble refund for just $50.99. It's fun, it's free, and it can't be gambling, otherwise we couldn't advertise it on television. I'm Sophia Remington, and I want you to have as much fun as I have, but you can't afford to. So here's the swag box instead.
Thanks for coming back. Later, we have an exciting new feature that we just know you're going to love, so stay tuned for that. But first, I'm really excited for our next guest. She rose to prominence as the delightful Susie May in All My Daughter's Children's Men, before taking the music industry by storm this year with her debut album smashing the chart records at the age of just 20. Let's give it up and welcome Lil C!
Oh, wasn't she from Council Estate?
You look incredible.
Oh, thanks, babe. I'm doing this new regime and it really does work.
Ooh, what's the regime?
And my manager suggested it to me. It basically involves bathing in like cabbage water and then having the leaves sucked out of you while you sleep.
Wow, is that healthy?
Oh, well, look at me, Meg. The leaves are my only nourishment.
Yep, they certainly are. Now, you'll have to forgive me, but I'm somewhat of a super fan, so I'm sorry if I get a bit starstruck.
Oh, bless you. I've never actually heard of you before, so if you do get a little tongue-tied, I can always carry the interview.
Oh, that's good to know. So your first album, F My Face Together, it hit shelves this summer and it just exploded. I mean, what was that like for you?
Bonkers, just so weird. I was in all the papers and the magazines. Overnight, I went from that, like, annoying little girl from that show to that, like, sexy little girl from that show.
Wow. That must have been bizarre.
Not really. It was just like any other morning. You know, get up at 5, go on a 4-mile run, have 3 meetings on my cabbage bath, but then only then was my dad actually talking to me.
Oh, of course. I mean, the famed country singer, Billy Bob Jean Short. I didn't know you'd been estranged.
There's nothing that strange about it, Megan. Okay, yes, he may believe that aliens told him to hate women, but there really isn't anything to prove that he's wrong.
Uh-huh. So, this newfound explosion to your popularity, I mean, did that change your life?
Well, had to start wearing like nicer underwear, you know, for the paparazzi. But as my manager says, best to make the most of it before I'm 30.
Is that right? So what's the album about?
So I thought it was about like how pretty and great I am, but actually it's about monetizing youth, I think, or about like promoting an unrealistic standard of beauty or something.
Your manager again?
Yeah, he says insecurity is an opportunity.
Oh, do you think he'd be happy with you telling us all this?
Telling you all what? It really doesn't matter what I say here. I'll do my dancing and then this part will all be forgotten about.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, we're going to see some of those famous dance moves very shortly because you're going to be performing your new single, aren't you?
Yeah, it's from my album Put It In My A Together and it's out tomorrow.
After the last one?
Oh yeah, I've actually released 2 albums since lunchtime and a clothing line during this interview. See, this is called Cry for Help and it's going to be in all the best high street and retailer shops and it's out now. So girlies, you know what to do. Scream and cry until somebody gets it for you.
Ooh, there she goes. Blimey. All these projects, they're keeping you very busy, aren't they? It must be tough.
Yeah, it can get tough and I hate it sometimes and I hate myself. I just want to like cry into a bath of root veg. But then I think thousands of girls would do anything to be me, so I'm quite lucky.
Well, you know you don't have to do this though, don't you?
Yeah, I do think that sometimes. Most nights between like my 4th vodka and the 8th time a stranger slaps me around the arse. I think things could have been different, you know, like better. But I don't know. I love doing autographs and having somebody dress me and tell me what to wear.
Did you always want to do music?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I did. I'd sit in front of the radio, and as soon as my favourite girl group would come on, I pressed record on my cassette. But then my dad would come in and tell me to turn it off and to go back upstairs and start practising again.
Oh, sorry, is your dad your manager?
Yeah, which can be tough. And sometimes when it gets really hard, he'll say, "Make Quagler proud, and you might just survive childbirth."
Well, you know what, despite anything, you'll make me proud.
Oh, if only your opinion was as valuable as his.
And on that problematic note, you're going to be singing your song for us soon, aren't you? Tell me about it,
So it's called These Babies Gonna Bring You Home, and I actually got sent the lyrics in the car on the way up here. But you know what, it's actually all right. And don't worry, all my work is team approved.
All right then, well, you can go and get ready for that. We'll see you in a little bit. It was a very specific type of pleasure to chat to her, and I just can't wait to hear this. Oh, so here's Lil C with an exclusive first performance of her new track, These Babies Gonna Bring You Home. Take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Force's favorite, the Queen of Team, here to break in your blockades, Lil C.
Oh baby, can't you see I'm hungry? There's a place in me that's empty. I want that meat you're packing. Only you can fill that crack in me. I'm under siege, so come and free me. Ain't no disruption here, boy, I got no agenda. Just want the team in me, no birdie foreign member. Don't stop your morning drill, there's holes in me that ain't been filled yet. I only scream this loud when you do your country proud. I ain't no vicar's daughter, come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and hold me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So let them try and break our dream. We fight and love and die a team. So what a Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy. I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions. I've been this wild and free since Mama burdened me. She was only 53, but gave to save her family. There's no one judging me if I'm the one that's in your fantasy. Don't die alone, these babies gonna bring crash on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pull me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So what if Peter Clemens poison come and use me as a toy and flip me over, grab my hair, rip off my clothes and dump them there? I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions.
Oh my.
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will. I'd like to thank Lil C for...
That wasn't
for doing
subtle,
that.
was it?
Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll finally be revealing the new segment of our show that we just know you're going to love. We'll be back right after this.
And we're out.
Pretty straightforward rip-off of Brittany Spears' track there.
Can I just say, thank you so much for letting me do this. It really means a lot to me, you know.
Yeah.
To be able to promote myself on such a mainstream platform like the news.
Well, don't worry about it. And you know what? Good luck for the future. Take care of yourself. This industry can be crazy sometimes. Watch out for that father of yours.
Oh, no. I manage myself.
All I can say is, hey, look now, this is the life. Just like the brochures say, you can't cheat on your wife. It's a high-class ocean ride. You can't afford it, and it's fun since someone died. If you could be me now, out on a foreign shore, down in every crack and with my butt burned roar,
This next section will need you to use all 4 of the sound effects to help things along. Try and pick the most appropriate one at each given moment. The actors can't hear what you're doing, so they'll be trusting you to make the right choices.
Oh, that'll be fun. We have free reign on the soundboard for this one, huh? This is a fun broadcast. I'm enjoying this one.
Due to the ongoing military blockade, some destinations may differ from those pictured in this advertisement, as the cruise now mainly takes place around Zimbabwe.
And we're back.
Thanks for teasing you about our new feature all night. And now the wait is finally over. I can reveal that every night on the show we'll be treated to an episode of an informative and hilarious new segment called The Notice Board. It stars some top talent and we're very excited about it. But before we see it, let's have a quick chat with the writer, director and phenomenon, may I say, Goeff Algebra, guys.
Actually,
Oh my god, it's Goeff Algebra! Look at him now.
How'd you like that?
He's been rizzed up.
Fancy. I suppose you need a new name now that you're a successful artiste.
Well, exactly. I'm earning enough to pay taxes now.
Oh.
It's shit.
And how does Angela feel about all this?
Who?
Your wife.
Ah! Oh, God, no.
Oh man, look at Jeff. He's come so far.
Long gone. No, she was holding me back. I'm with Norm now. We were married last month.
Norm de Plume.
Yeah.
A nom de plume. Oh no.
And why did you invent this? What was your inspiration?
Oh, well, I received a telephone call offering me 25 grand to write a pro-team sitcom. And I heard my father's voice. It said, Jeff, you listen here, boy. You make hay while the sun shines. You wring every penny you can get out of this. So I wheeled him down to the transition centre, got out my typewriter and started clacking. Utter shite.
And without further ado, let's give it up for the notice board.
Why would they be laughing here? It hasn't started yet. At this point, I feel you're being
Miss Craven.
Oh, morning, Ray.
Everything all right, Mrs. Craven? You look as worried as the vicar in closing time.
Oh, Ray, it's those young louts. They've vandalised my shop again.
No!
Yes! They've written all sorts of obscene language and crude pictures, and I know it's those damn youths.
I don't know. It could be the vicar at closing time.
I'm just worried they won't ever become productive members of the community. What if they never see the error of their ways and end up as social outcasts, such as shoplifters or bong rats?
Don't worry, Mrs. Craven. This is a very supportive community, and I'm sure that in time they will fit into this society like this key into this lock. See? Works like a charm.
What a lovely way to put it, Ray. And just like that, we can unlock their future.
Yes, yes. Wow! Look at all the letters in my collection today.
Oh, I think that one.
It's a lot to keep track of, not gonna lie.
What? This one? Oh, so you're right.
I'm sorry. This is making me laugh too much.
Here it is.
Oh, it's a letter from my granddaughter, Brenda. She says she got an A on her maths exam because one of her friends has been helping her. She was always a team player, was our Brenda.
What's up, losers?
Oh, it's this guy. It's Jeff.
No, it's Brad. He's the coolest guy in the village.
That's right. I just got here on my motorbike.
Oh, clear off, Brad. We don't want any of your ilk around here.
What? Rad dudes?
No, ruffians. Have you come to tag the notice board with your gang signs?
No way. I've actually come to pin my resume on that notice board. I'm looking to do some tutoring after school.
What? Did you say tutoring?
That's right. Maths is very important. Would you mind?
It's true.
Not at all.
So you, a young person, have been spending your time helping others and not just urinating on churches or huffing glue?
Hey, I haven't huffed glue for months.
Well, blow me down!
You know what? We misjudged you based on how young and cool you are and not on your actions.
No doy.
So it wasn't you who vandalised my shop last night or called me a rancid old crone from the back of a chopper?
No way. It can't have been me. I was too busy helping my friend Brenda with her maths homework.
Could you speak up there? I thought for a minute there that you said Brenda.
I did, you daft old sow.
Did you hear that, Ray?
Oh, yes, what a wonderful surprise. I now respect you as a man.
Put her there, Ray. Oh, what the heck? Give us a hug.
Ooh, what is happening? Yo, what? Is the studio down?
Sorry to interrupt the first groundbreaking episode of the notice board, but we're receiving some breaking news.
Yeah, what happened?
We're picking up reports from across the continent of what appear to be... Oh God, what appear to be nuclear explosions in 4 major foreign cities.
Good Lord.
Initial estimates put the death toll into the millions. I'm being told that we're experiencing some power fluctuations as a result, so apologies to any interruption to the broadcast for you at home. And now I am told that we are going live to team headquarters for an emergency broadcast from Prime Minister Julia Salisbury at any moment. Yes, let's go to that now.
Good evening, citizens and leaders of the world. Minutes ago, operatives working for Advance detonated nuclear explosives simultaneously in 4 major cities across the continent. We have similar devices in 58 other urban centres.
Yeah,
and will
what?
not hesitate to detonate them. If our conditions
Oh, I've been hacked
hearing
again.
stories of power fluctuations and without delay. Territory will no longer tolerate your illegal and genocidal blockade. You are to remove it immediately. We will accept nothing less than your unconditional surrender.
They've gone full
Your
tanky.
territories will be taken under our control. We will install replacement governments to ensure that your citizens become part of the new future. Your borders are now our borders.
Yo, Advance is
Your
messed
people
up, huh?
are our people. They will finally be fed and clothed and educated and healed. But for your privileged few, the moment that they feared is now upon them. Allow me
multiple acts of mass destruction in our name. Nor do I care how you voted. You didn't vote for this. None of us did.
You will not find them.
We...
But no doubt you are already searching for them.
We
Our
are
technology
waiting
is
further
decades
news
ahead of
and... Oh, God. What if they respond?
We will expect your complete acceptance of our terms by midnight tonight. Thank you.
Well.
Oh boy, that's scary as
Okay,
hell.
so there you have it. Advance making a brave move that looks likely to end the war in this, its 20th week. There's a lot to take in here, and I know you, like me, will be wondering if this is too much. If we've gone too far. But I'm thinking of our sick and ill, denied their medicines, the children with no food on their plates, and the body bags returning from the front line. And I ask myself if, without some big, bold gesture, it would ever stop, and I do not think it ever would. We elected Advance to make this country better for us all, and it was working. But then the rest of the world looked at us and they said this cannot be seen to succeed. And they brought their warships and their tanks and their planes.
Is this
just
the
to make
Young
sure
Turks?
that we
What's
were
going
instead
on?
seen to suffer. To make sure no one anywhere would ever attempt this again. So, to my mind, our government have taken the only path available to them. A difficult decision for their hearts to bear, but one that ultimately we can respect, because it is designed to keep us safe. And while this is unquestionably a dark night, it may indeed presage the dawn of a new future. My name's Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
And we're out.
Do you ever get the feeling that you're making history?
Good Lord. Oh, let this ad finish. What? Meaningful images.
Eau de Beaubois. Eau de Beaubois.
Repeated branding.
From eye of the beholder, formulated with all natural hydrogen sulfide. Eau de Beaubois, because who cares?
Well, I did pretty good apparently, except for sequence C. A small bonus. Interesting. So did we just finish the game? Save and quit? Well, I guess we may have finished this game, at least for now. We'll see what comes next. We will absolutely be playing a lot more of this as time goes by. We haven't even scratched the surface of what Not For Broadcast has to offer. I guarantee you that. But we'll take our leave for now. Anyone watching live today? There's going to be more Amnesia and maybe something else. So stick around if you're in the mood. All the best.